wonderful how we always have such a good time together? It's been that way right from the start.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 funniest flashback episodes.
Okay, I'll tell you my story. Believe it or not, I was not always as awesome as I am today.
Susie, that is not an embarrassing story.
Yeah, I know. But I just love telling it.
Yeah.
I'm not just saying this to suck up to Ron Howard, but I think we nailed it.
For this list, we're looking at episodes that took us back in time to make us laugh. We'll be excluding animated shows, which deserve their own list. Did we include your favorite? Flashback to your favorite episode and share it in the comments. Number 10. Why Are We Here? Everybody Loves Raymond. After we got to know these characters and became immersed in their lives, the season 1 finale answered the question we'd all been wondering.
Oh, why did we ever leave?
We're taken back 3 years to when Ray and a pregnant with twins Deb decided they needed a bigger home for their expanding family.
This is the greatest. It's the greatest. It's everything I've ever wanted. It's like I'm never going to worry about anything ever again. Oh, no.
Ideally, they want a place not too near or too far from Ray's folks. However, they find themselves living across the street thanks to Ray's dad, Frank, who is a retired real estate agent. While Ray is apprehensive about this move, Deb thinks it'll be great.
I know that you don't see it now, but in time you will come to realize what a blessing it is to have your family so close.
This brings us back neatly full circle to the titular question. Number 9. Making a Monster. Arrested Development. Deviating from the usual flashback trope, this series uses a fictional docu-series within the series to drudge up the past.
Oh, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's see who wins the competition. And I could be a judge. Never too early to get Buster used to being in front of a judge.
Making a Monster, starring real-life married couple Kobe Smulders and Taran Killam, follows the Bluths' lives until shortly before the death of Lucille's mother Mimi, unfolding over 3 episodes. The flashbacks often correlate to present events such as Buster getting into trouble in the water and Lucille and Lindsay's fraught relationship. It also spills some major Bluth family secrets.
I knew this day would come. Maybe it is time.
Yeah, okay, kids.
Everything comes to a head when this elongated gag serves as evidence in Buster's trial, causing him to flip out. It also reveals a huge secret about Lindsay.
Oh, gosh, that's right. It slipped my mind. Oh, please, it's all you've been thinking about since you put her up for adoption. It hasn't been on your mind. You swooped in and stole her from the Stanwells when you found out about the endowment.
Number 8. My Night to Remember. Scrubs. It's a slow night at the hospital until a patient suffering from amnesia is brought in. He can't recall the events that led him to the hospital, leading the staff to debate whether or not they should fill in the gaps.
I know I'd love to forget all the painful things that have happened to me, but unfortunately I keep replaying them in my head like some clip show from a bad sitcom, too lazy to come up with a fresh story.
JD is the king of fantasies, but in this episode, he recalls the good, the bad, and the bizarre times since his first day at Sacred Heart.
And for some reason, whenever I think about them, the fray is always playing.
It's me over to you. I just thought it'd be difficult.
No, not that fray song. This fray song.
This was the only occasion where the show used old clips rather than tell a new story. It was a great way to remind fans of all their favorite moments from the previous 6 seasons.
I wouldn't change a single moment, would you?
Oh, I'd damn sure change this moment. In fact, I'd change this moment and every other moment you and I have ever had that's even remotely like this moment.
Number 7. Back in the Day. Living Single. As the group prepares to celebrate Khadijah winning an award for Flavor magazine, they think back to when she first launched the publication.
Come on! This is my night. Are you on your own time? You're right. At least we get along better than we used to. I remember when I swore I'd never be in the same room with Tater Tot again.
This was a time where Overton still had hair, Kyle sported an afro, Max and Regine were somehow cohabiting, and Sinclair was yet to complete the group. The flashback shows just how far they'd all come, as well as the strength of their bonds. After all, how many people stay together after a fight that intense?
That day really put sisterhood to the test. Yeah, I still can't believe her head was harder than a banister.
Things aren't going great for Sinclair either after she hits Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with her car. Well, at least it gave Khadijah her first scoop.
What? For real? Oh, you got a job for life, girl.
Number 6. The Way We Met. The Golden Girls. The ladies are left a little freaked out after watching Hitchcock's Psycho, but it's nothing that a cheesecake and a spot of reminiscing can't fix. In a series of flashbacks, we see how the trio came to live together.
Hey, I think we'd get along great. I got a feeling you're a wild woman. Oh, you bet I am. I eat raw cookie dough.
Although they seem profoundly mismatched at first, it's clear that it was meant to be. However, after a disastrous shopping trip, they wonder if their differences are too great to overcome.
All right, I have had it. Thanks to all this constant bickering, I have a splitting headache.
Oh, girls, let's face facts. The three of us just can't agree on anything. I mean, it is obvious we were not meant to live together.
I hate to agree with you, but I think you're right.
Luckily, Rose is on hand with a classic St. Olaf story about the Great Herring War.
But they shot him into a tree. After that, no other herring would do it.
Not only does she have the others in stitches, but a new tradition is born, bringing them closer together. Number 5, Game Night, How I Met Your Mother. Marshall's game night takes a turn when Lily mentions that she ran into someone from Barney's past.
What is her name? Sharon? Shannon?
Shannon? Shannon. No, don't remember any Shannon.
She then shows them a videotape of a teary, ponytail-wearing, hippie version of Barney that's almost unrecognizable. Of course, he's upset at first, but soon uses it as an opportunity to dupe his friends into sharing their own embarrassing stories.
The whole time? The whole time.
Barney, that was really embarrassing for both of us. We just earned a huge chunk of story.
No, that's more like the Barney we know. Still, we enjoyed learning about the guy he used to be, as the flashbacks piece together his journey to becoming suited up and awesome. The story isn't fully concluded until season 9.
See, that day I vowed I would do everything in my power to track you down, gain your trust, and then destroy you.
Who are you?
Who am I? Just a guy who served you coffee once. Peace out, loser.
Now that deserves the highest of 5s. Number 4, Lows in the mid-80s, Will and Grace. Everything about this 2-part flashback episode practically screams the 80s. While waiting to be seated at a restaurant, the group shares their story with a sad stranger who clearly needs to hear it.
It was an incredibly difficult time in my life, and this is not the time or the place. The year was 1985.
College couple Will and Grace have big plans for the Thanksgiving break. She plans to get him into bed, while he plans to come out of the closet. Jack acts as his confidant, but Will's insecurities lead to an accidental proposal instead.
Let's get married!
What?
Let's get married, and let's wait till we get married. You want to get married?
Oh my God! Will! Yes!
Meanwhile, 1985 was the year Karen met Rosario while rejecting the advances of various high-profile suitors. This episode has a lot of heart, but also plenty of laugh-out-loud moments.
Hey, one phone call to get you back on the next longboat to La Dia de la Posada. I like you. Why don't you come work for me?
Okay.
Number 3, Virgins, New Girl. Following a text from the first guy Jess ever slept with, the friends start competing over who has the worst first-time story.
I promise you, mine's worse than all of yours. Prom night, 2000.
What was the theme?
Schmidt's is a comically slippery affair, while Winston's naivety wins him the saddest story of all.
Winston, listen to their names.
Sound like pros.
She was a nurse. Dude, her nurse hat was in her purse.
Would you listen to yourself?
Naturally, Cece's tale is too cool to even be considered.
It's Mick Jagger.
What?
Oh. Game changer!
But Jess's story spans several years with various twists and turns until she finally gets down to business. It's a fun way to delve into the characters' pasts that also proves very relevant to their respective presents. Nick's story might be rather anticlimactic in comparison, but it marks a turning point between him and Jess.
What are you doing?
Let's not think about it.
Number 2, the staircase implementation, The Big Bang Theory.
So you agree he's nuts?
Well, not as nuts as the guy who chooses to live with him.
Believe it or not, he was worse when I met him.
Oh, I do not believe that.
How did Leonard and Sheldon become roommates? How did Sheldon discover his spot? Or how did the elevator break? These are just some of the questions this episode answers. A fresh-faced Leonard ignores all the warnings, including one from Sheldon's previous roommate, and signs that roommate agreement.
Section 9, miscellany. The apartment's flag is a gold lion rampant on a field of azure.
We have a flag?
Luckily, his new friends provide some relief from his rather intense roomie. It's fun to see how the dynamics have changed since those days. And we even get a glimpse of what a teenage Penny was up to back then. While the episode is very funny, ultimately we see that despite Sheldon's countless quirks, he has always had Leonard's back.
What'd you do that for? I had plenty of time.
You're welcome.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are some honorable mentions. The gang does a clip show. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. With their phones out of use, the gang starts to reminisce.
Can we not start messing with each other's memories, okay? Distorting facts, basically changes history. You know, it's like fake news. You know, and then all of a sudden, nobody knows what the truth is, and facts don't matter. Guys, it's a slippery slope.
When Mindy met Danny, the Mindy Project. Mindy recalls her first day at Schulman & Associates.
Wait, you work here?
Wait, you work here? Excuse me.
Excuse me, I was going first.
Merry Christmas, Johnny Rose, Schitt's Creek. Johnny is haunted by the ghost of rich Christmas past.
Sleep in heavenly peace. Sleep in heavenly peace.
Swag, Ugly Betty. Whatever happened to Betty's Gucci bag?
No, it's your first swag, so you get the first pick, and believe me, you really do need a new purse.
The Road Not Taken Part 1. Taxi, featuring a young Tom Hanks as Reverend Jim's roommate.
I'm pulling the plug on the groovy lamp. Ah! Oh, so what are we supposed to do now?
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, the one with the prom video, Friends. Throughout its 10-year run, Flashback episodes have always been a firm fan favorite.
You know what this is? This is us getting ready for the prom.
While the one with all the Thanksgivings and the one with the truth about London are worthy contenders, it's the first Flashback episode that holds a special place in our hearts. We see Ross, Rachel, and Monica all in quintessentially 80s style as the girls get ready for their prom. Clearly, Chandler and Joey find it as hysterical as we do, as they can't resist taking a few shots at their friends.
Some girl ate Monica.
Shut up. The camera adds 10 pounds.
So how many cameras are actually on you?
Of course, what makes this episode stand out is that it brings Ross and Rachel together. After all, he's her lobster.
See? He's her lobster.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.